Hi Slam fans, Sean LaCornu here with Lauren from Slam Strategy. How are you today?
Hey, pretty good.
Great. Okay, look, today is tip number 16. Today is all about social media. It's the big thing at the moment in the marketplace. But what a lot of people seem to struggle with is trying to work out the value of social media. It's not always that easy. So Lauren's been putting together a little bit of a strategy to explain how social media can be calculated so you can work out a return on investment. So this is tip number 16. And I'll sort of throw it over to you, Lauren, and perhaps you can sort of tell us a little bit about why businesses first of all should be doing social media at all.
I suppose there's a number of reasons that businesses should be using social media. First and foremost, it's a pretty budget-friendly way to get your brand out there, get your brand message out there.
Because I suppose anybody can do it, can't they? I mean, you just create a Facebook account and away you go.
Yeah, exactly. It's free to sign up for the accounts. If you want, you can always put a bit of extra money into your Facebook paid ads, LinkedIn sponsored posts, that kind of thing. But either way, you're still not really spending a lot of cash. So you can build up your community from there, spread the word, get your friends involved, get your customers involved, and post up pictures, information. It's a great little platform for exposure.
It is and while I think the social media channels are making it more difficult these days, you can still link all of your accounts together and build a bigger community. So you post something on your Facebook or on your LinkedIn, and it will post to your Twitter, for instance. We started up our business actually through using nothing but social media, and built the business up to where it is today just through that process. Okay, so free is a good thing. That's a good reason to use social media. I think most businesses would be happy about that. So yep, keep going.
Moving on from that, you can use it as an online continuation of your offline customer service. So the kind of quality of service that you would deliver in store, chatting to your customers, getting to know them, getting to know their needs, telling them about what's new, all that kind of thing you can do online and do it in real time and answer their questions outside of hours to continue really good relationships with your customers, keep them loyal, keep them coming back, bring in some new ones.
And I suppose that would be more cost effective too, because people would have similar questions perhaps that they might need answers, and they can jump on Facebook. And I think on Facebook also, well, I'm going to say Facebook, but on social media in general, is that people are more likely to communicate on social media than necessarily picking up the phone and ringing or even coming in store. So I think that people will want to, if they've had a problem, you're more likely to get a response back from people using social media rather than people just being disgruntled and not bringing up the issue at all, except talking to their friends about it, which is the last thing you want them to do. You want to solve the problem for them. So, more cost-effective way to communicate with people from customer service. Okay, good.
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose some other things is just to kind of foster some positive conversation about your brand. You see brands like, say, Telstra does it really well. They've got their regular Facebook page and a customer service Facebook page. So they're kind of getting people involved with their regular one, with competitions and that kind of thing, to just increase their exposure. And also their other one is to answer those tough questions and help out the disgruntled customers and just kind of, show that they care.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid for people to throw tough questions at you. At least you're getting a chance to respond.
That's right. People will appreciate a response, and it just puts a human face to your brand. You add the person's name of who's replying, all that kind of thing. So it just it makes it a lot more personal.
Great. Okay. Any other things on that on social media from that perspective? Check with the notes there.
I suppose the other thing is just to get some more information on what your customers want. You can always ask them. You can do your little polls on Facebook and just say, we're releasing this new range of candles. What scent would you like to see next? That kind of thing.
Yeah, great.
Gather emails. Get some subscriptions. Direct people to your website. So it all kind of helps to just drive people to your website, drive people to your store, keep them engaged in your product.
Great. So fundamentally, social media enables you to have a closer, more dynamic relationship with your target market, so that you don't become out of touch with them, and they feel like you're listening to what they have to say. Would that be pretty correct?
Yeah, that's pretty spot on.
Sweet. Okay, so that's all well and good, and I think a lot of businesses think that that's great, but at the end of the day, they're running a business. So the question is, if they're going to invest time and money into social media, how do they calculate a return on that investment? I mean, this is fundamentally one of the tough things that when I talk to businesses about, is that they all recognise that they need to be doing social media, but they don't know how to put a value on it. So in getting consultants to come in and help them, or how much attention do they invest into their social media, it is very difficult for them to be able to work that out. So how can they calculate a return on investment?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. It is kind of notoriously difficult to calculate your social media return on investment, and obviously it is a part of your overall marketing plan, and you do need to show that it's working. So there's a couple of things that you can take into account. Just as a starting point, if you work out what your customer is worth, so that's your customer lifetime value. We've just written
customer lifetime value. So what we're talking about there is how much is your customer worth to you over a 12-month period. Okay, so the easiest way to do that is to calculate your total sales and your overall sales for a 12-month period, and divide that by the number of sales that you've had in that 12-month period, and that'll give you your average sales value, and that then gives you roughly what your average customer is going to be worth to you. Okay, so that, just so you know. Okay, cool.
So yeah, just starting off, say your customer's worth $1,500. You might spend 10% of that on social media marketing.
Okay, and 10%, just sorry to cut in there, the reason for 10%, it's between 5 and 10% is sort of calculated as the average that you should be spending towards your advertising and marketing budget, whether or not that be social media or TV or press or whatever. Your overall budget should be roughly between 5 and 10%. So that's the reason why Lauren was sort of saying that there. Okay.
Yeah, so 10%, just as an example, so that's 150 in this case. Say your consultant's costing you just over $4,000. Divide the social media budget 150 by the consultant amount, and that'll give you, say we need 28.8 customers coming in to achieve a positive return on investment.
Okay, so roughly 30 customers. All right, so that then starts to give you a little bit of idea about where you need to be heading in terms of your investment, so that you can then start calculating, how effective the work's being. The next question I have is, okay, so that's great that you know how many you should be getting, but how do you know whether or not you're getting them? So I've put up a little part up here talking about conversion tracking. So the idea here is that your social media presence is going to obviously drive some business, but how do you calculate that they've come from social media? So there's a couple of things that we can do, and Lauren's added a few more as well, but a couple of things that you can do is that you can track email inquiries and also phone inquiries. So that process enables you to know whether or not that social media, that customer has come through social media by setting up tracking codes and phone codes and stuff like that. So there's a couple of other things you mentioned here as well. So what are those, Lauren?
These are just some other things that obviously we would chat to our clients about to see how well it's working and see if we're meeting our targets. So stuff like your anecdotes, just asking, how many more customers have you got this month? Where did they come from? How did they contact you? That kind of thing, just to see how that matches up with the social media activity. A similar kind of thing with your correlation is if you've got, this big increase in your social media activity, say you've got a competition on, or, just some really cool posts that people are enjoying, and you've also got an increase in sales, we can look at, how that correlates and if that kind of matches up to the activity. Also is your links and your tagging, similar to your conversion tracking, as we can look at the Google Analytics for the website and just see this is where these people came from, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, that kind of thing, and just go on from there.
Yep. Okay, so then obviously see over time whether or not the traffic through social media has been increasing. I mean, if you want to get really to the nitty gritty, you can work out, what percentage of traffic that does come to your website converts to a sale. I mean, you can do some rough analysis of that, and then you can apply that same ratio to the social media. And then say, right, well, if say 1 in 1,000 people that comes to my website becomes a customer, then for every 1,000 people that come through my social media, I'd expect one sale. So over time, you can calculate that process, which just helps to add to analysis of your conversions. Oh, great. Look, that's a pretty juicy one, I have to say. It is difficult for a lot of businesses to be able to do this. I understand that. And that's probably where a company like Slam can help out, is that this is what we do. This is what we understand. A business's job is to run the business and to make sure that they're being cost effective in their spend of their money. So, that's where we're able to help out. So any other things you'd like to mention on this, or do you think we've sort of covered it all?
It's the kind of thing, measuring the return on investment in social media is new and it is evolving, so there's always going to be, improvements and better ways to measure it. So this is just a start, and yeah.
I suppose you really need to incorporate this into your overall tracking of everything that you do with your sales in the online space, not just your social media, your search engine optimization, your Google AdWords, whatever else that you might be doing, email marketing. You really need to be doing the same sort of process, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of that should be kind of integrated anyway, or your website and your social media should kind of help each other. So, yeah.
Great. All right. Thank you very much, Lauren. There you go, guys. Tip number 16, why social media. I hope you've enjoyed that. Make sure that you join us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter, and stay up to date with all things relating to Slam strategy. All right. Bye for now.